What's up, home bartenders? Here are 5 2-ingredient cocktails that you should know how to make at your home bar. Let's do it. So it doesn't take too many ingredients to make an awesome cocktails. In this case, only 2. And we are gonna be skipping the standard highballs, so rum and cokes, gin and tonics. Those are out. These are a little more elegant, a little more sophisticated cocktails, but they still only have 2 cocktails. I meant to say ingredients, 2 ingredients. So starting with the Martini, 2 ounces of gin. Obviously you can make this with vodka if you're wrong, but you should be using gin because the Martini is made with gin. And then we want an ounce of a dry vermouth. I like the 2-to-1 ratio. I think that makes the best Martini. But yeah, just 2 ingredients, 2 ounces of gin, 1 ounce of vermouth. And yeah, if you wanna add some orange bitters, I think it does make a better Martini, but it's not required. Okay, good stir. We're gonna serve it up and garnish. Starting with the classic Martini. Technically, we did add an ingredient in the orange bitters. It's not required, but I do think it makes a better Martini. Lately, I've been really enjoying the Vesper Martini using my homemade quinoa lillet. Check out that video. But the classic here is just really good. And I do like a 2-to-1 ratio with the vermouth. A lot of people love their dry, the drier the better Martini. What's that line from, was it from Kingsman where he's like?
Martini, gin, not vodka, obviously, stirred for 10 seconds while glancing at an unopened bottle of vermouth. Thank you.
That's not a cocktail. That's not a Martini. You're just drinking chilled gin. You just want gin over ice. A Martini has multiple ingredients, 2, and the vermouth is just as important. Now you can go lower. I wouldn't go lower than a quarter. Some people even do a spritz of vermouth. That's not enough. I like the 2-to-1 ratio, a full ounce of vermouth. Next up, we have the Black Russian. It's a favorite. It's a fan favorite. It's not my thing, but we want 2 ounces of vodka here. Using Dylan's vodka, I love my local vodkas. And then we're gonna do an ounce of a coffee liqueur. I'm using a homemade coffee liqueur, but whatever you want. You can go with a sweet coffee liqueur like Kahlua. You can go with a dry one like Mr. Black. It will change the drink, but it is. I don't think there's a garnish for this one. Stir. The Black Russian, I'm not a fan. It's an alcoholic, watered down coffee. Yeah, it's a boozy like chilled, iced coffee without cream or sugar. I like my coffee black. I don't like my coffee cold. This is like when you bought your coffee at the beginning of the day, you've been sipping on it all day. By like noon, it's gotten cold. You're still sipping it because you're too lazy to go get another coffee. That's what this tastes like, but with vodka. Obviously, the coffee liqueur you choose will greatly influence the flavor of this cocktail. So this was definitely made for Kahlua because Kahlua is very sweet. So, and you need a little bit of sweetness with this. I'm sure some people make this with Mr. Black or like an ultra dry, no sugar added coffee liqueur, which is kind of what mine is. Mine has sugar, but it is still very dry. Not for me. All right, the Dark and Stormy, Gosling's official drink. This one is built kind of in reverse. So we start with some ice in a glass, and then we're gonna start with the ginger beer. So I'm using a Canada Dry ginger beer here. I really like this ginger beer. Ginger beer, not ale. And then we fill it to about 1 inch from the top. And then we're gonna we'll drop our straw first because once we layer that rum, we don't wanna agitate it. We're going to fill our jigger with 2 ounces of Gosling's Black Seal rum or any dark rum. Using the back of a spoon, carefully layer that on top of the ginger beer and garnish. The Dark and Stormy. Okay, I lied a little bit. This one is technically a highball because it's just a spirit and a mixer, but it's a little more elegant. Look at the beautiful presentation, and it's just a delicious rum mule, essentially. But, however, as much as that presentation is nice, you can't drink like this. Oh my God, I overfilled it. You gotta first kind of give it a mix, push some of that rum down through the ice. Now you can drink it. I mean, what's not to like? If you like mules like me, this is just a classic rum mule with dark rum, Gosling's rum if you're following the rules, but if you don't use Gosling's, don't worry, no one's coming to get you. The Rusty Nail, what a great Scotch drink. We're starting with 2 ounces of a blended Scotch, nothing expensive here, but I do like my Isla Mist because it has that nice smokiness to it. So 2 ounces in there. You can build this directly in the glass like I'm doing, or you can mix it in a mixing glass. We then want ½ ounce of a Drambuie. I'm using a 4-to-1 ratio because that's what I like. You will like it sweeter, go full ounce. And here's a tip, if you want to swap that Drambuie for Di Serono, you got yourself a Godfather. Same measurements, just a different liqueur. Okay, mix, 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 and garnish. Oh, one of my favorites, the Rusty Nail. Oh, so good. Especially if you use a nice smoky Scotch, not a single malt. Don't waste your Laphroaig or your Lagavulin on this, that's too much. But if you find a blended Scotch, an inexpensive blended Scotch that has some Isla in the mix with the Isla Mist, this is an inexpensive blended Scotch, but it has some Isla, specifically Laphroaig, so it does have a nice smoky character, makes great cocktails, and it's only 30 bucks. The 4-to-1 ratio for me is the way to go. So 2 ounces of Scotch, ½ ounce of Drambuie. To me, that's the perfect sweetness. I do like a dash of Angostura as well. I think 2-to-1 is much too sweet because Drambuie is very sweet. And I do the same thing for the Godfather. So literally the same template, swap the Drambuie for Amaretto, you get a Godfather. I don't know which one I prefer. Might actually prefer the Godfather. I really like that Amaretto flavor, but this is also just phenomenal. Last one on our list is the Stinger, Cognac and Crème de Menthe. So we're gonna start with 2 ounces of Cognac. I'm using Courvoisier, of course, because it's the best one. And then we're gonna do ½ ounce of our homemade crème de menthe. You can check out that recipe. But again, this is another one where different people will have different ratios. Some people put more, some people put less. I like a ½ ounce, gonna give it a little bit of sweetness. It's gonna give it a nice mint flavor. Give it some ice, give it a good stir, and garnish with a nice sprig of mint. The Stinger, just Cognac and mint. Oh, that's nice. Rich, raisiny Cognac, and then just a nice minty, cooling finish. It definitely has some mint julep vibes, only made with brandy. Man, that's good. All right, we gotta rate these now. I think I screwed up the order from the beginning of the show, but we're actually gonna go in reverse order today. So start with my least favorite up to my favorite. And in last place, I'm gonna give it to the Black Russian. I'm just not a fan of that one. In 4th place, gonna give it to the Martini. I love Martinis. I just don't make them that often, which is why it gets a 4th, but by no means is this a bad drink. And neither is this, it's just not my thing. Okay, in 3rd place, I'm gonna give it to the Dark and Stormy. Really good, love my mules, but I don't know. It's just, if I compare it to all the other mules, the Dark and Stormy is not my favorite, so that's why it kind of gets mid-ground. 2nd place, the Midnight Stinger. This is really nice, mint and brandy, beautiful. And then in 1st place, the Rusty Nail. And if I could give an even higher than 1st place, I would do it probably the Godfather, because I think I prefer the Godfather over the Rusty Nail. I don't know why I didn't do that one. But anyways, all of these guys are great. They're only 2 ingredients if you don't count the bitters that I added to some of them, but only 2 ingredients, super easy to make. And all of these were basically, with the exception of we stirred this one, everything else was built directly in the glass. You don't even need that much equipment to make these. So these are really easy cocktails that you can make at home. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Guys, if you want to see more compilations like this with lots of drinks, check out this playlist right here. If you want to see my journey of 100 mules, the Dark and Stormy was part of that. Make sure you check out this video right here where I go over my favorites from that list. And we will see you in the next one. Cheers.